This proud dad had a dream. He wanted the world to hear his story. But publishers knocked back his book 42 times. Then, out of the blue, Hollywood said, "Sign here."
Do you want to play Simon Says? You hear about it happening, but you never think it's actually going to happen to you. Simon Says...
So what's it like having your husband at the centre of a Hollywood tug of war? How does that sit with you?
It's weird. It's surreal. I know that seems cliche, but it's like, that doesn't happen. Like, yeah, it's amazing.
Simon Says, up and jumping.
Someone in the US hangs up on Ben Stiller and gives Michael Thompson a call.
Yeah, I suppose so. I'd never thought of it like that.
This yarn is about an incredible story. And then look at the front cover. What name is at the bottom there?
Yeah, it's pretty extraordinary. It's bizarre just to hold it and go, this is something that I wrote out the back on my own.
Michael Thompson's literally written his own ticket from suburban Sydney to Hollywood's Tinseltown.
I'd never written anything creative before. I'd never written a short story, or obviously never written a novel or anything before, and I thought, I always wanted to do it. I'll give it a crack.
His fiction novel, How to Be Remembered, is something this father of two probably won't have to worry about.
Okay.
The movie rights to his book were snapped up by Hollywood producers when it was still in the draft stage, before it was even published. Not bad for your first crack with a quill. I've seen a video of you on Instagram spending 10 minutes unwrapping a box which has your own book in it. So I've got to ask you, how does a suburban dad who takes 10 minutes to open a box to get his own book out become the centre of a Hollywood tug of war?
It is quite bizarre, actually, and we're now going from kind of writing this out the back to being published in Australia, published in the US, published in the UK, published throughout Europe, to something that I hadn't actually thought could ever happen.
It's pretty unheard of. I'm not going to say it doesn't happen, it's just happened.
Booktopia fiction manager Ben Hunter says Michael's achievement is no longer the stuff of fantasy for Aussie writers.
What I think Hollywood runs on is story. Stories of desperation, trials, tribulations, triumph, humanity, humour. If you've got that, that's something that Hollywood wants. And it doesn't matter if you're a suburban Aussie dad. It doesn't matter if you're the King of France. Like, if you've got a book like that, put it out there.
But the real-life manuscript is far from perfect.
Between kind of book agents and between publishers, I was knocked back again and again and again and again. It was 42 times in total that I was knocked back.
He handled it pretty well, but it was sort of like, oh gosh, yeah, okay, this is why there's so few writers in the world, because it's really hard.
Shan's her husband's sounding board. The couple took a leap of faith at the start of COVID when Michael was between jobs.
I'm so proud he works, I know everybody works really incredibly hard, especially when you're an artist. But I was like, yes, good on you, because he deserves it. He really does. So, and I love it. I love the story.
On the same day every year, everyone around him forgets he exists and he grows up enduring his own universal reset. That is, until something extraordinary happens, Tommy Llewellyn falls in love.
There's a line in your book. Leo says to the police officer, "We're not on anything." But I've got to ask you, mate, what were you on when you came up with this concept?
Well, this is the thing, it just kind of came to me, and I thought, there's probably plenty of people that would like their kind of digital lives to be erased, but what if it was around the other way? What if there was someone who just wanted to be remembered, and there was something that was kind of preventing that from happening? And as soon as I thought of that, I'm like, oh, this could actually be a really interesting story.
I'm just so thrilled for him, because you can imagine it's life-changing.
Annette Barlow from Allen and Unwin says the publisher read between the lines of Michael's book, something 42 others failed to do.
I really think it has all the emotions, and you turn that last page thinking, wow, that was a novel I can recommend to everyone.
I mean, our viewers want to know, how much have you sold it for?
No, I cannot. No, it's certainly worth asking, but no, I can't. No, I certainly can't.
Till now, Michael's worked with numbers more than words.
The Australian economy slows.
His popular finance podcast, Fear and Greed, his daily bread and butter.
Prime Minister Anthony Albanese says he won't change tax rules around the family. I'll be continuing to work alongside this, as I'm not retiring early.
And Sian isn't about to invoke the Kathy Bates approach in the film Misery to pin down her talented writer husband to knock out a sequel.
That would be a fairly extreme way to do it. Productive, I suppose. We'd get something written fairly quickly.
For now, this Hollywood-bound first-time writer's penning this message.
I suppose it's a case of that if you really want to do something, just give it a go. I mean, you're never going to kind of lose anything by having a crack.
Well, good luck with the path ahead.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Lovely to chat.
Thank you.
Well done. You could be holding a pot of gold there.
Well, hopefully. We'll see. In the meantime, I hope it's just a pretty good story.
And a US publisher has bought the rights to Michael's second book. And you know what? He hasn't even written a word yet.